So that was Chapter 10. Let's go and look at Chapter 11. Chapter 11, if you look, it starts on page 329, and it's on debugging an application. Okay, it's about 25 pages approximately. All right, so how to do basic debugging. All right, and how to use the different debug windows. So let's take a look at this. How to set the debugging options. Well, if you go into Tools Options, there's a thing in there under debugging. So in other words, if I go in here and I go into Tools and I go down to Options and I find debugging, which should be in here someplace. There it is. See that? That's the stuff that's here. So you can set up a lot of different things. The problem with setting everything up is the system will constantly be stopping if you do that. So typically you just use what the defaults are. But there are a lot of other things that can be set. Okay? Some of them are shown right here. How to work in break mode. Well, again, I want to make sure you see this. So if I take my mouse and I go over to my program here and I decide, that, let's just say I'm going to put in something here. I'll put in private void add to numbers. Okay, and I'm going to put in here int number 1 equals 73, int number 2 equals 51, int answer equals number 1 plus number 2. All right, and now I want to say here message box dot show number 1 dot toString plus number 2 dot toString equals answer dot toString results. We'll have just an OK button here. And we'll set an icon. Message box icon dot information. All right, I'm going to go back to here, not to here, to here. I'm going to put in a button here. And this button is going to be button call add to. All right, let's run the program. All right, I call add to, and why isn't it giving me anything? Should be giving me a message box, but it's not. Because I called it add two numbers. Let's change that to just add two. All right. Try running it again. Called add two. Oh, I've got to put it my buttons of click event. Add to. Now, after all that mess, watch please. Click the button that says add to. You get that. Does that make sense? All right. Well, what I want to tell you though is I'm going to go and I'm going to stop the run, and I'm going to take my mouse, and inside of that routine that's add to right here, inside of this one right there, before we do the message box, I'm going to click over here. That's a breakpoint. See, did you hear me? That means stop when you get to right there. So notice now when I click there and I click add to, see how it stopped? Okay. Now notice what happens. I can take my mouse and I can put it here, and it will show me. It's hard to read, but it says number 1 is 73. It says that number 2 is 51. It says that answer is 124. So in other words, the program broke, it stopped, and I can take a look at things before they print out. All right. If I want to continue, I can just hit the continue button, or if I want it to run a line at a time, I can hit my F11 button. See that? And it'll run it a line at a time then. So to set a breakpoint, you click in this gray area here, called the gutter area. To unset it, you just click again. That's all you got to do. All right, to turn it on and turn it off. Okay. Occasionally, you're going to run a program and it's going to break. You probably have had this happen to you already. Just so you know, I wasn't even going to tell you this, but I am anyway. For the next 5 or 6 weeks, everything we write is going to be from the console. Everything. No GUI stuff. Because when you do object-oriented, typically it doesn't involve GUI at all. All right, so we're going to be writing console apps. If you like console apps, good, and if you don't, probably not so good. All right. All right. Work with data tips, it says here. Well, one thing about this, just so you know, is that there's a bunch of built-in stuff in Visual Studio. So you're working on this and it doesn't work. It gives you this yellow thing. It's giving you errors. You get this area down here. This is called the locals window, and it shows you all of your variables and what their current values are. So you can go in there and take a look at them, because if something's not working, typically that's one way you can debug to figure out why. Okay. Breakpoints I just showed you, so I'm not going to show you that again. How to control the execution of an application. Look on the screen, please. I'm not going to go over any of these. I mentioned the F11 key to you, where you can run them in a line at a time. There's a bunch of other ones. So you can set this stuff up virtually any way you want. Okay? Does that make sense? In other words, you as the programmer have control. I showed you that locals window in here. You can also do in that locals window, you can put on what's called a watch. What that means is, as the program's running, in here, you can show any variable at any time in the program and show what its value is. Okay? Now, this stuff really only works if you are running a GUI app. It doesn't work if you're running a console program. It just doesn't work. All right? Let's load you a watch. How to execute the immediate window and execute commands. This is kind of neat. You may or may not agree. But if you look down on the screen here, way down in the bottom right corner, there's a thing that says immediate window. If you click on that, you can type stuff into here. So I could type in question mark and the name of a variable, and it would show me its current value. I can even do math in there if I want to. I could put in question mark 72 plus 12, hit enter, and it'll say 84. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can if you wanted to. All right. The Callstack window will allow you to see what routine called what routine, etc. Okay. It says how to use the output window to view project information. That's your output window down here. All right. So let's assume for just a second, I'm going to go and start up a new instance here. Okay, and I'm going to write a real kind of, for lack of better words, kind of stupid little console app. All right, so create a new project. We'll make this again a console app. I'm just going to call it simple console app. All right, so it comes in here. Again, you've seen all this stuff already, so I'm going to make this hopefully only about 4 or 5 lines long. What I want, that is. Okay, what the heck is going on? Console app. Okay, I asked for a simple console app. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, and I don't want this right line right now, but I'm just going to come in here and say int number 1 equals 71, int number 2 equals 456, int result. Now I'm going to make a mistake in here on purpose. I want to add these two. You with me? I want to add those two, but I accidentally say number 1 minus number 2. So I put in a logic error. All right. And then I say console.writeLine result, and I say here readline. Okay. So what happens here is I run the program. And it says negative 385. Pretty obvious I screwed up, correct? All right. So what I can do in here then is I can come in and say, hey, something's screwed up. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say console.writeLine, the value of number 1 is number 1 dot toString. All right, okay, that's cool. The value of number 2 is number 2 dot string, and the value of result is result dot toString. All right, this one I'll just comment out. So I run the program again, and what does it show me? All right. Well, I should be able to look at this and say, hey, I wanted to add those two. It's pretty obvious I'm not adding them, right? What I'm trying to show you is if I want to come in here and I want to write debug statements in a console app, I typically write them as write line statements. Okay? Right. They've got some other tools. There's a visualizer here. You can set this stuff up so you can put your cursor in here and have certain things print out. I'm not going to run over that with you. All right, that's it. Now that I realize that was very short. I want to give you plenty of time. So you've got what? It's 8:52, 3 hours today. All right, and you've got 3 hours on Monday. You're probably just about caught up, if not caught up. All right. Okay. Now, I'm asking you, I didn't grade the test yet. You think you did all right on the test? Okay. If you want, rewrite that one right now. Okay? And I will look at what you did, but you've got all the code already. But if I can't figure out what it is, then I'll have one to grade. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right, why don't you do that? You got plenty to do too, right? So, all right. I'm giving you lab on Monday too, so let's say Monday at the end of class, because Angie's not here. She had a death in the family, so she's at a funeral right now. All right. So
I was kind of running out of time at the end, so the second one doesn't make a lot of sense, like the way it's coded. That's why.
Well, does it work?
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
But it looks weird.
I understand. And again, here, always save what you have, but don't be afraid to start over. All right. I mean, sometimes you're just going to have to.